Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the feature race at Aqueduct on Saturday. Race number 8, it's the $100,000 Save Florida Sandy Stakes. Older New York breds going 7 furlongs. Let's take a peek at this field. We've got a 5-2 morning line favorite in My Boy Tate. And boy, Mike, My Boy Tate loves Aqueduct and loves a wet track, and he got them both last time. Yeah, he was off a long layoff in that race, though. It was nice to see him come back running, because he was a horse who started out with a lot of promise, maybe was headed the wrong way before the layoff, but he came back with a big effort last time. Class relief for the 5, T Loves a Fight, who faced the streaking Firenze Fire last time out. And the 7, The Caretaker, hops up in class off a big Beyer win. Should be a fun edition of the Save Florida Sandy. Let's see what Timeform US has to say about the pace. Blue bar situation favoring horses on or near the lead. Advantage perhaps to the number 6, Arthur's Hope, a horse that has run some fast races when allowed an easy lead. Didn't get that situation last time. No, last time the pace was too fast for him, and he just couldn't really keep up with it. He didn't run a poor race, and that's what I didn't think, Dan, but he just couldn't really cope with the fast pace. He's got more than one race. He got that triple-digit Beyer back at May, but he's got more than one race that makes him competitive in here. The number 1, Avinu Malkeinu, has some back class. He's a stakes winner. He's multiple graded placed. And Jeremiah Engelhardt got this horse's confidence up in his last 2 races down at Laurel, going 7 furlongs on a wet track. Let's watch this race. He just angled 4 wide to split horses. He's going to take over right now, and he's going to take the measure of an old war horse, John Jones, who's down on the rail. The 3rd finisher of this race came right back to earn a 95 Beyer when second in a 50,000 optional claimer at Parks. Avinu Malkeinu certainly has back races. I wonder, though, if it was the wet track and getting out of New York and getting to perhaps a lesser circuit at Laurel. I mean, maybe it was. I mean, if nothing else, it was nice to see him. It's nice to see him actually go back-to-back in his last 2 races, because he was a horse as a 2-year-old. He looked like he had a lot of potential, and for whatever reason, things just never really panned out with him as an older horse. He only managed that 1 win all of last year. He earned a figure for that race, but it felt like he didn't really develop from 2 going on to an older horse, but now he's won 2 in a row, so maybe he's back on the beam. The number 2, Celtic Chaos. This is a horse that would not appreciate it if the Timeform US pace projector is correct. He has no early speed. He is a 1-run closer. He is usually at the mercy of the early pace. Last time out at Aqueduct, kind of an even performance over a sloppy track. This is a horse that, again, he has races, but races when he got pace and was able to make a run, and I'm not sure that situation is available to him on Saturday. Yeah, true. I mean, the pace could really work against him, and then we'll just see if he can just show up and run one of his good races. His good race makes him a huge player in here. I personally don't think he's run one of his good ones in any of his last 3. I didn't think the race at Laurel 2-back was terrible. No pace? Yeah, there just wasn't any pace in there. I thought he did well just to be second. Last time, I don't really know what to say about it. He never really kicked it in, and that's a race that went to a closer. And there's Cecilia Mike, who almost never wins, made a big run from off the pace, and Celtic Cash just never kicked it in. My Boy Tate won the Save Florida Sandy in 2018. He is 5 for 6 lifetime at Aqueduct, 3 for 3 at 7 furlongs, 4 for 4 on wet tracks. He was going to be, it appeared, one of the top New York bred sprinters in 2019. Unfortunately, he had some foot and leg issues. He was gone for a long time. This was a really nice return effort in the New York Stallion Series. We'll take a look at that video right now. In behind horses, he's going to alter course to the outside. And remember, he's going 7 off of this long layoff, and it doesn't bother him at all. There's no rust for My Boy Tate as he runs by the leaders. I like the way he finished this race off once he got out in the clear. Now, he did have a fairly contested pace in front of him. The race set up the right way for him. But it was just nice to see him come back off of that long a layoff and to finish off the race the way he did there. I really liked that performance from him. He obviously has the back credentials, and I think it's just worth pointing out, I know that he's 4 for 4 on wet tracks, but this isn't some horse who like really moves up on a wet track. He's very good over faster as well. He's just consistent when he shows up, because you know, again, it's a shame that he's had these share of injury problems throughout his career, because when he shows up to the racetrack, he's very solid. Morning Breeze is the 4. You get the feeling that trainer Bob Glaceris is just taking a shot here. This horse has done some good things on the turf against open allowance foes. He's done some decent racing on dirt in the past, but we haven't seen him on dirt since Saratoga, when he was claimed by Glaceris in a race where the runner-up came back to win a state-bred 2X with an 88 Beyer. He's got some speed. I guess that's good.
That is good, and maybe they'll, Cancel just be on ascend here and try and get this horse involved early. He's got plenty of speed. They could potentially make the lead here if they wanted it. I guess the question would be, even if he gets the front, is he good enough? Because, he had trouble winning races anyway, and his recent dirt form before they switched over wasn't great.
He Loves a Fight's one of our favorite New York breds on the circuit. This horse was claimed for $10,000 in the spring. He is now multiple stakes placed, and last time out in the Gravesend, he was in a tough spot. Yeah. Not only was he in against a very good horse in Frenzy Fire, and he's down towards the inside, there just really wasn't a lot of pace for him to attack, and he tries very, very hard to finish third. This was a 91 Beyer speed figure for T Loves a Fight, and that puts him right in the hunt here. And if you give him a little bit of pace, I think he's adaptable enough to stay close, but if you give him a little bit of a pace, he'll come running. This was a game performance.
He ran well in this race. He ran well two back when My Boy Tate was just better than him, but he was a good second that day. Again, that was a race that set up well for his style. The pace was contested. He ran at the end. 3 straight stakes placings for him. He's just in really good form right now.
Let's talk about the expected pace setter, the number 6, Arthur's Hope, who earned a 100 Beyer speed figure during the spring at Parks when he was able to get up close to the pace. Now, in 3 subsequent starts, things haven't exactly worked out, but maybe something happened to him in that race at Delaware in July. The layoff in the slot might not have worked for him, although he is 9 for 15 over a wet track. I think the layoff bothered him. Last time out, he couldn't get to the lead. So I think this is going to be the best situation he's had in a very, very long time. The price is going to be right. Carmouche is very aggressive out of the gate.
I agree with all that stuff. I don't have any real knocks on him. If somebody tells me that they like him in here, I wouldn't argue too hard. He's got races that make him competitive, and maybe he makes the lead in here. 2 back off the left. He was no match for My Boy Tate, but again, the pace was pretty competitive in there, and he was part of it last time. That's Chateau, who I'm not a big fan of for Jason Service, but he's just fast, and he outran this horse to the lead.
The Caretaker earned 2 consecutive career best Beyer speed figures after being claimed by Rudy Rodriguez, including this effort against open non-winners of one other than. He is in the red cap. He sweeps to the outside. It takes him a little while to change leads, but once he does, it's off to the races. And it's not like there was a big pace to set him up. He was sort of sitting behind a nice moderate pace. He finishes it off well. 97 Beyer, nice outside post position here. If you look at the pace projector, you see him far back. Does that worry you?
I guess it could. Maybe he just won't get the right tip. But when you look at his PPs and you look at his back races, he's not some deep closer. He doesn't have to get outrun at this pace is too slow in front of him. I think he can still get a good trip from an outside post. His last 2 races, very, very good. I'm interested to see what he does in here.
How do you look at the quick wheel back? Rudy's wheeling him back in about 2 weeks. And you're not a big bounce guy, but after these 2 big efforts, are you concerned that maybe a regression is in order, or do you like the fact that, listen, Rudy's striking while the iron is not going for the 100 grand?
Yeah, I like that Rudy, feels like he's got this horse in good form. He's going to come right back into a big race.
I agree, and that's why we take a look at our top selections for the Safe Florida Sandy Stakes. I'm hoping the Caretaker can stay a little bit close to the pace and hopefully run him down from stalking range, but I'm also going to use a lot of the 3 My Boy Tate and my multiple race wagers. They're really my keys. I went 7-3-5-1. You're going with My Boy Tate. Listen, he's just rock solid.
I liked his return a lot. We'll see what he does here. Second off the layoff. It feels like these are the 2 horses are going to take all the money in here. I feel like the 3 and the 7 are the 2 who are getting bet. We'll see what happens.
Safe Florida Sandy Stakes, the feature race in Aqueduct on Saturday. It's race number 8, and it has an approximate post time of 3:55 Eastern. Good luck.